we're so back! So last weekend I was able to check out one of my most anticipated films of the year, Weapons. And I really wanted to talk about it with y'all. And I know we're the indie corner and we'll talk about comic books on this channel, but listen, I need to talk about this film, man. I need to talk about it, so
I don't give a fuck, Keisha!
So Weapons, starring Julia Gardner, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, and directed by Zach Krieger, who directed one of the best horror films of 2023, Barbarian. Also known for being a part of the YouTube comedy group Whitest Kid You Know back in the day, and made this iconic skit.
You kids look like you could use a delicious fruity beverage!
Who are you?
Open wide, kids! Cause I'm gonna grape you in the mouth! Ah!
Fun fact, one of my best friends growing up showed me that skit as a 5th grader to our friend group, and we've developed a very f***ed up sense of humor. Thanks, Zach. So I knew about this movie earlier in the year when people were talking about it during CinemaCon, and what really hooked me was the premise. Taking place in Maybrook, Pennsylvania, 17 kids from Mrs. Gandy's class all simultaneously wake up at 17 a.m., walk downstairs, open their doors, and run into the dark.
And they never came back.
And was it worth the hype? Hell yeah, it was worth the hype. Off rip, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Zach Krieger made kids creepy again. Just the image of all these kids running around with their arms stiffened out in the middle of the night is the most creepy image I've seen in a long time. Very eerie. The image sticks with you. What I really didn't expect was the whole narrative structure they decided to go with. It was told in a more non-linear approach, focusing on the perspective of each of our leads that were affected by this mass disappearance. The ridiculed teacher, the grieving parent, the overwhelmed cop, and the homeless junkie. Not only does each character's chapter overlap with another character's to fill in story gaps, the more we learn about each character's perspectives, the more insight we get to the overall center plot and mystery. Thanks to Krieger's smart writing, it wasn't overwhelming, and it flowed well pretty much together, and it really added to the fact that the performances in this movie are really good. What makes this movie really shine is the fact that it makes you really uncomfortable and eerie the entire time you watch it. There will be shots in the film that look perfectly fine, but you'll get that feeling in the back of your neck that you know deep down something isn't right here. And when it scares you, sometimes in the most subtle and the most absurd ways. And to my surprise, this movie does a really good job at times of making you laugh. Not only that though, the cinematography is really good. This movie looks a lot like one of my favorite films, Prisoners, and I love Prisoners. The sound design is really good. The score is really good. When the third act comes around, this film really does embrace itself as a horror film. That's where a lot of the scares are. That's where a lot of the tension really builds. Let me tell you, that ending is probably one of the most insane and satisfying endings I've seen in a long time. So overall, I had a great time with this film. I loved it. Definitely worth the wait. I gave it like a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. It's probably my second favorite film of the year, along with Sinners being number 1. I really enjoyed this. Let me know down below what you think of the movie, what you thought about it, what do you like, what you didn't like. Really want to know down below. And listen, if this gets enough likes, maybe we'll do a spoiler review at some point. Screw it.